If you are seeing this sigil, this is your shadow work. Triangulation, number 28. Triangulation. This could mean that you are being triangulated, or you are triangulating against other people, or someone is triangulating against you, or all of the above happening at one time. Triangulation is one of the most common tactics of social manipulation, and it usually happens subconsciously. Triangulation occurs when, instead of communicating directly to someone that we have a conflict with so as to create solution, right, we go to a third person or a fourth person or a fifth person with the subconscious or even conscious desire to get them on what? Your side, against the other person we have the conflict with. We may use them as a go-between to relay information to the person we have the conflict with, but this is not the same as using an intermediary, because the subconscious intention in triangulation is to divide, right? Divide and conquer. It's an old tactic. We are using one person against the other. Subconsciously, we think our only way of maintaining our self-concept of being a good person is to get other people to validate that we are the good one in the conflict. And I did a reading about Are You a Bad Person? So you can go back to the shadow work and look for the title, Are You a Bad Person? Or just type it in the search bar under the XOTarot channel page. So you have decided that the best way to get someone to side with you against someone else is to make yourself look like the good guy or the good gal, right? And the other look like the bad guy or the bad gal. Even if we are the one who is, in fact, creating the problem in the first place, we'll play the victim. Woe is me, right? Most people have no idea that they are being triangulated, and there is one glaring reason. People who are skilled, yes, there are people who are skilled at triangulation as a means of manipulation, will never make it obvious, right? That they are trying to turn someone against someone else to get their own needs met. Otherwise, it wouldn't be manipulation, right? Instead, they will misdirect, right? Misdirect and lie and do and say anything that makes it look otherwise, so as to never have their tactic, which is often highly subconscious, be seen, right? So usually you don't want someone to know when you are manipulating a situation. It could be any manipulation. Everybody is guilty of some type of manipulation, right? Think about it. It's a skill. And the most common camouflage they use is other people's insecurities, right? So they use other people's insecurities to mask what they're actually doing. Now you know the formula. When we, as a people, have unmet needs, it means we have insecurities. For example, if someone needs to be understood, that person has insecurities about being misunderstood. Therefore, if we are going to triangulate effectively, we are going to play that person's insecurities against the person we have a conflict with, at the same time as giving them the impression that we are going to meet their unmet needs. Pause on that one. This is especially easy to do when people are lonely. Then all we have to do is to give the person we are subconsciously trying to triangulate the impression that they can have closeness with us through opposing the other person. Team up with me, right? You team up with me, we have a closer bond, and then I can get you to see my side so that we both can be against this one person or a few people or whatever. All right? Listen up, because this is important. The reason that a person being triangulated will hardly ever see that this is being done to them is because the person who is triangulating is rarely ever going to create a new problem between them and the person they are triangulating against. Instead, they will camouflage their intentions by using a wound or insecurity or unmet need that they can feel already exists between that person and the person they are triangulating against. They are, in essence, capitalizing on a crack that already exists to make it a Grand Canyon. If you are seeing the sigil, triangulation is taking place. You need to deal with conflict when it is tiny and directly with the person you have the conflict with. You need to figure out what you need and then meet those needs and meet them directly. Manipulation only occurs when a person feels they cannot get their needs met directly, and so they must get them met indirectly. Try to figure out what people, as well as yourself, actually need and actually want. What is a person's actual intent of telling you what they are telling you? If you think someone is triangulating, ask the person who is triangulating directly what they want out of telling you what they are telling you. If they are triangulating, what do you want out of gossiping? Develop empathy and compassion. The antidote to triangulation is empathy. An initial conflict, when you are in an initial conflict, usually both parties are victims in some way. For example, we may be the victims of someone not prioritizing us, but they might be the victim of extreme pressure, which is why they aren't prioritizing us. Empathy is not designed to negate our hurt. Empathy is designed to make it so we can stay united and not locked into our own perception. Empathy will ensure that we do not cast ourselves or other people's in any of the roles of the bad guy or the bad gal, the victim or the rescuer, and we simply deal with the conflict at hand as well as the needs that the conflict is flushing to the surface. It is very easy to fall into the trap of enhancing the triangle once you appear in it. The sad reality is that once one person decides they need support against someone they are in conflict with, you become part of the triangle. Whether you intentionally do it, whether you intentionally choose to be or not, and whether you like it or not. Whenever you are dealing with a triangle or a triangulation, and you are in any role within the triangle, which you are, if you have drawn this signal or sigil, sigil, same thing. The question to keep in your mind as your guiding direction is, right here in this statement or action, am I enhancing the triangle or am I helping to unravel the triangle? If you are struggling to discern whether you are the one doing the triangulation or not, shuffle your thoughts, write it down. We're in a retrograde. Go back, and then we'll know. So what I'm going to do is, the next shadow work, for those who are watching, all right, if you're struggling to decipher whether you are the one doing the triangulation or not, the next sigil that I draw, the next shadow work that I draw, it's going to imply the answer. So what I will do, this is going to be a part 1, and then we'll do a part 2 as the follow-up of, is it you? Is it them? Are you creating it, making it more bigger? Are you decreasing it, minimizing it? Are you solving the triangle? You know, are you unraveling the entanglement? Whether you asked to be in it or not, whether they asked to be in it or not, whether he or she asked to be in it or not, right? So, and I know the shadow works are done usually sporadically, once a month, because shadow work takes work. You know, it's not like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get this done today and that's that. No, it takes time. So the shadow work cards are not drawn as often as the tarot cards, because it's going to take some work. It's going to take some processing. But for this particular one, I'm going to do a part 2, and this is going to let you decipher, you know, is it you or is it someone else, or are you just caught in a triangle without even knowing it? Have a wonderful day and night. Shadow work number 28, triangulation.